Well, hi YouTubers, hi, I'm back with the 420 Years of Mills and Boon, and this is sort of like the final book, bit of a bonus book because Mills and Boon sent this to me. Right, so it's an advance read of Georgia Toffolo's Meet Me at the Wedding. Here we are. Save today, Georgia Toffolo invites you to the wedding of the year. This book will be published on the 28th of April 2022. Now because of this, it will contain no spoilers. I'm just going to talk about the gist of the plot. I'm going to talk about how it worked. I'm not going to go into too much detail or depth because that's not fair. I won't spoil this book. I was going to talk about the book. Right. And also loads of advanced reads, okay, I've gone over on good reads right now, so it's probably no trouble, and I'm not going to spoil it. So, also, Mills and Boon sent me this, okay? Sent this nice little box with some stuff in it. Yes, this nice big box. Let's go back to the box. This little thing is a bit here, okay? It's a little letter from, okay. I'm delighted to be sharing with you exclusive limited edition early proof of Georgia Toffolo's Meet Me at the Wedding. Lily loves living in Hawke's Cove and planning her best friend's wedding at the Hawkesbury estate as the icing on the cake. But when the estate owner dies and his son cancels the wedding, Lily must face Henry Hawkesbury, a man she hasn't seen since that fateful night 10 years ago. Henry wants nothing more than to return to Hawke's Cove, say his estranged late father's estate and leave. He certainly does not want to host a wedding or face Lily. It gets on with everyone except him. But when Henry needs Lily's help, she will only provided if the wedding can go ahead. Working together means that both of them must face their past and in doing so embrace their future. Like when two people afraid of love acknowledge what they have always wanted. Okay. So this bit here. Okay, we can't wait to hear your thoughts on this special book. If you post a review on your social channels, please tag us. Okay. So, and the cover itself is really, really beautiful. I don't know if you can see that, but I absolutely love that cover. That's gonna be it. That's Lily kind of on the beach. Hawke's Cove has its own, Hawkesbury estate has its own beach. Okay. Also, we've got this a little champagne bubbles, a little titchy little bottle of champagne. Okay, very, very cute. Meet me at the wedding. Stick of rock. There's a stick of rock. Okay, in this box, a confetti. Okay, got some confetti, and a little card saying "Enjoy" by Georgia Toffolo. Okay, on the back. Also, this book I have to keep this really, really kind of like in special good condition. You put it in a little bag because it's got a signed book plate. Okay, so this is the last of the Meet Me at Quartet. Okay, between Tahiti, London, Hawaii, and now they're going to come back to Hawke's Cove to celebrate Victoria's wedding, who is the kind of like the protagonist of the first book, which was set in London, which I liked in places, but I also didn't. So this also alludes a lot to a fateful night 10 years earlier, where a car accident happened, which killed a woman driving called Claudia, and her actions impacted the eyes of the foreman in the other car. So it kind of alludes back to that fateful night as well, because also in the car at the time was Henry. He was in the same car as Claudia, and everyone kind of turned to him and blamed him for this action. He kind of became persona non grata within the community. People actively, because his father owned a Hawkesbury estate, which is probably a lot of people, he was nicknamed Little Lord Fauntleroy, and he kind of became estranged from his father. Everyone was kind of like looking at him like it was his responsibility that this woman was drunk and high and got behind the wheel of a car because it's, so he left. And now his father passed away, Blake. Now he's back to start the estate, sell it, and move on with his life. He's done very well for himself. He developed an app. He's a multi-millionaire, and he's doing brilliantly. Okay. Whilst Lily is in Hawke's Cove and she's trained as a chef, and she's like the best chef of all time. Okay. This bit here. As Leah continued to pedal because Lily's riding a bike, she felt a sensation of ease as something unique and wondrous. Zoe had lost the use of her legs, and the same accident had prevented Victoria from ever being able to have children naturally. The night had taken something from each of the girls, and 10 years later, Lily realised that they were still feeling echoes of that loss. But in the last few months, Victoria, Mally, and Zoe had each found a way forward from that, with the help of the love and acceptance they found within their partners. And even the slight twinge of loneliness she felt, being so far away from her friends, she couldn't take away from happiness for them. So Lily is feeling inner right. Sorry, I didn't actually mention the ghost writer, the other writer going on with this. It's Pippa Roscoe. Okay, So George Toffolo and Pippa Roscoe, they wrote this together. And I liked that concept. I liked that Lily is kind of, she made the decision to stay. Everyone kind of went on, travelled the world, but she kind of got herself stuck there. Now she's living, I will say, a really good life in Hawke's Cove, but it's kind of prompting her to look outward more. What's keeping her back? What's keeping her there? And I actually like that when the protagonist comes to question, why did I stay? And there's a lot of internalized feelings within Lily, which I I liked. Everyone she knows kids gone on their adventures, are sorting their lives out. It's been like 10 years trying to get to their best place. Okay, which have been discovered in all the other books. But Lily's kind of feeling a little bit left behind. And then she re-meets Henry after all these years. And they've changed. They have really, really changed. So, and the fact that Hawkesbury Manor has become like this safe haven. It's kind of a staple of the town. It's kind of like a place where it employs so many people. It makes its own wine, it grows its own herbs, and Lily works there, and she also owns her own restaurant. So she also is doing well with her life. But from Blake's point of view, it's the place which condemned him. It's condemned his soul. So you can see these opposites, people looking at the same building, same area, but feeling conflicting feelings. For Lily, it's a home. For Blake, if he felt trapped there. So, right. I see so damn much to try it again. I see the place where Blake brought me after the accident. A place I could be where my mother was forced to go back to work, unable to take it anymore. So take any more time off. A place where I could escape to when things became painful. Where Victoria was told she couldn't have children and Zoe was told she wouldn't walk again. I see the walled gardens Blake asked me to help turn into a herb garden. The fruits we planted, the herbs, the bay trees and blackthorn. I see the place where I earned the money that went to pay for my country college in London, she said, drawing in a breath, while memories and images flash through her mind. Right. I see your home, Henry, your safe haven, one that looks over and after our town. I see a place that people come to visit and fall in love with everything that is Hawke's Cove and come back the year after and the year after that. Right. Henry hated sincerity, ringing her tone. It was almost righteous, and each and every word struck him like a knife. Yeah, well, you know what I see, Lily? All I see? Reminders of the same man who lost himself so much in that damn estate. He forgot about his wife, forgot about his son. Son he later exiled. A man who, instead of asking his son what was wrong, chose to invest his time in caring you. Because he wasn't ashamed of you, was he, Lily? Now you're completely innocent. And I'll spend for the accident that took Claudia's life. Now this has been mentioned really, really over and over again. And I'll be truly honest. What happened to Claudia, where you kind of meet in flashback and all that. I feel sympathy for her situation in a way, okay, because she was in a very, very bad place, okay? But she made the decision to get behind the wheel of a car off her head and cause this accident. So the whole kind of blame, it's like everyone seems to blame the wrong person. You blame the one who survived, who wasn't driving for this, instead of, because what to blame the dead girl would be too difficult. Right. So it's this kind of thing, okay, where everyone seems to be giving Claudia a pass for this. Giving Claudia a part of poor Claudia, poor this, poor that. I just felt, you know, kind of annoying. If fate says that, very few people seem to turn around again and say, she made a choice, it impacted you. You are blaming the wrong person. I just want to throw that out, okay? The whole throughout this 4 books is a narrative of poor Claudia. Right. Okay. No. No. Because this has really, really impacted, being blamed for this has really impacted Henry's mental health. Okay? This bit. After Claudia, after the accident, I went off the rails. I'm not proud of it, so it was my best moment. I wasn't sleeping well at the time, I began drinking too much. I started missing classes at uni, and eventually I decided it was better for me not to return. And I didn't tell Dad. Right. They were sending me money each month, and I was in no fit state to get a job, so I just kept the money. Guess that makes me a thief too, he said. I got arrested, well cautioned a few times for drunken disorderly conduct. I was so angry. I was looking to find anything and everything. And Mum found out I'd actually called Dad, and he sent me back to the Cove. Then they had this real massive accident. Right. Yeah. Yeah, but Henry and Lily start working together. They talk about good food. You can also see how this kind of city or this village really depends on the manner in which every single year the volunteers come together to kind of come together as a community, okay, to make the harvest. It's actually quite sweet in the way it's described. I did like that how it was described. Okay, right. And being back in this community as well, it's kind of everyone's kind of softened their stance towards it, but no one's angry anymore, bitter regarding what happened. Everyone seems to kind of accepted it and moved on. Okay, but in a way that Henry's still stuck in his own head from that terrible day 10 years ago, where everyone were blaming him. Right. The harvest had changed everything because this time he felt strange as if he planted his own memories, not ones heavy with the burden of parental dissatisfaction or teenage angst, neither were his own adult memories, an investment in the future he was about to sell. And those seeds had been purged deep into his heart and were unfurling, going within him, binding him to his place with green ivy-like vines. Seeds he couldn't help but feel that Lily had given him on purpose, as if she wanted him bound to this place like she was, like his father had been. Right. And that really, really conflicts him. I like how um, Pippa Roscoe really gets into Henry's head. In fact, his reluctance to get back, his anger at being back. I like how it explores that in actually some very, very kind of mature levels. In a way, Henry owes his people nothing after the way he was treated, yet he's back. He is trying to, like, if he shuts it up and moves on, sends it to a developer, people lose their heritage. He's tied to this place no matter what. So, I like the fact it does explore his mental health in a very kind of refreshing and mature terms. So, kudos to Pippa Roscoe. That was good. That was really, really good. So anyway, they're getting on it, but and if you like food and nature, okay, describe this is the book for you. This really, really is. Right, right. So this bit here. hmm Because one thing that I also like about Henry is that he also calls Lily out on the way that she is. And I think it's something that she actually needed. As I said before, in a way, okay, she kind of trapped herself within this Hawke's Cove community, which is liked and respected, and she does a lot for the community. But the fact is, no one would actually say to her, "Who are you and what do you want?" This bit here, right? You're such a kind and generous person who repeatedly go above and beyond, putting yourself out for your friends and family, and not just them, okay? But it's more than that, Lily, okay? Right. You maybe found you help me find a sense of peace within a place, and above all, you deserve your happy ever after. But I'm just worried that you won't find it if you're always putting someone else first. Boom. So, thank you. Boom. Someone actually says it to her. Now, ending I won't spoil. However, it says meet me at the wedding. So the wedding is beautifully described. Beautiful. The way it's done and created, and the way they also have to accommodate. What was this? So accommodate disabilities too. That I actually liked. Okay, right. That I liked, but um, one thing that I can't shake off within these four books is money and privilege. Okay, now everything, single thing about these four women, okay, and some of them are working class, some of them are born to privilege, is the fact is that all four of them have done very, very well for themselves. Lily just doesn't run a restaurant; she owns the restaurant. She is the chef. She is like the top brass. Okay, one's a fashion designer. One is the queen of the waves. The other is a fantastic travel writer and also now turned to being an author. Is these women, okay, aren't just good, they are exceptional. Okay, whatever they decided 10 years ago, it's all come true for them, which is fantastic. But also the men they meet, okay, their mates, if you will, are also exceptional. They're not just a working class guy. No, they're working class, become a multi-millionaire, also now giving to charity, showing that they're good of heart. They are born to privilege. They are obviously literally the lord of the manor. One is a very, very famous retailer. Okay, so every single thing about this is no man is good enough for these four women unless he has money and power and privilege. Some he was born into, some he earned, but it's every single man these women fall for have that same trait. Now, mental health issues aside, and a lot of them, they are going through mental health issues. So I'm pleased that it is also explored, it's not just dismissed, which is also very refreshing. But no, these women just can't settle for any average Joe. No, they can't settle for, a guy who's, just upper middle class. They have to go for the upper echelons. And I find that very, very frustrating, okay, how these four very, very interesting, diverse women all basically fall for the same guy. And I find, yeah, so that's my only real issue with this. Okay, it taps into the kind of Mills and Moon fantasy in a way of being rescued. Therein lies the thing. These women all have their mental health issues or issues going on, but then this rich man comes in like the knight in shining armor, sweeps them off their feet, and even though, okay, they're done very successful at their careers, well, you know, money, privilege, and power. So that is the only issue I have with all four of these books. Okay, some of them I liked more than others. Okay, I absolutely loved that there was a Sable character in Meet Me in Tahiti. Okay, I thought that was very, very refreshing. But she doesn't just fall for the family friend. She falls for the guy who, back in the day when they're all in Hawke's Cove, was told to his face it wasn't good enough for her, who had to become rich and successful enough to be good for her, if you understand. However, this is the end of it. Obviously, no spoilers, because that's not fair. So it's on the 20th of April 2022. To order Toffolo and to every single one of the four writers who assisted writing this book, well done to you too. You've managed to craft a very, very good story. So, well, four very, very good stories. So sign off here. 41 years of Mother Mill sign off. Bye now.